to today's show. Chaos has ensued. Facebook, Instagram, down. The world will never be the same on October 4th, 2021. Anyway, folks, that's what the word is out there, is that Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp have all been taken down. They've all crashed. And, of course, if you go on Twitter, it's trending #1 worldwide. And you can see all the comments and all the chaos. People are losing their minds, right? They can't believe it. What are they supposed to do now, they're saying? They tried to reset their computer hundreds of times, their phone, thought it was there, something wrong with them. And now they're figuring out it's actually these companies. Now, who would do such a thing, right? Oh, I forgot. Cyber attackers will likely be blamed, right? Because remember, it's not just one company with the outage, it's multiple. And of course, conveniently yesterday, Facebook was featured on the propaganda show 60 Minutes talking about how they are proponents of hiding and pushing hate speech. And people don't like to hear that. Of course, hate speech is a term used to censor people who don't like your opinion because it's different than their own, because they don't have spines or backbones to be able to take criticism. Now, I've been talking about the cyber attacks for quite a while. The cyber attacks are going to tie in with getting people to get something put inside of them so they don't have to worry about being hacked, even though that's how this inverted world works. They're already hacked by putting this thing inside them because the government will be able to hack them. But they don't want to listen to anything that any of us say. Why should they? We've only been right the entire time. The controlled cyber attack and cyber threat is a constant prep for people. The more they become desensitized to it, when it goes down, the more ready they'll be for it. And then, of course, they'll be able to point a finger because the government has prepped them to point a finger at Russia, because that's the narrative that there's, Russian cyber attack. Because people in Russia are sitting around in the middle of the night and they're like, let's just take down Facebook and Instagram over in America, around the world. Let's just do that because we have nothing better to do. Now, some of the scary things that come out of these types of things are the reaction of the people, because it shows you how much social media controls these people, and how as long as Big Brother continues to feed them social media and their phones continue to work, they will be okay. But like I've said a million times, turn off their phones, take away their social media apps, their heads will explode, okay? And that is how we know with the mark and transhumanism, these people are going to love it, because the interface of social media is going to be in them. They're going to see this out of their own eyes. They're not going to need to walk around with a phone anymore. They're going to be literally seeing interfaces out of their own eyes, right in front of them, probably walking into each other, but being so unself-aware that they wouldn't even care. This is how they're going to weed people along, of course, to the mark. Now, as far as the cyber attack goes, another thing that I've constantly mentioned is, in order to get people to be concerned with a cyber attack, it has to affect them. Otherwise, it's just noise, right? If something doesn't affect you directly, it's just noise. You know, if you just hear about some story, over in Kentucky, they took down the power for, nobody cares. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. They need to feel affected. So now we've already seen like the Amazon attacks. We've heard things about banks. This is all prep. And of course, what better way to do it than to bring in Facebook and these social media apps that people are so dependent on. So this is what the story is. Facebook's week went from bad to worse. Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all suffered outages Monday, according to public statements from the 3 Facebook services. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even know Instagram was part of Instagram, but okay. We're aware that some people, I'm a boomer, remember, folks? I'm supposed to know these things about WhatsApp. Sorry, it's not affecting my day, but we're aware that some people are having trouble accessing our apps and products. Facebook said on Twitter, we're working to get things back to normal as quickly as possible. We apologize for any inconvenience. Outage tracking site Down Detector logged tens of thousands of reports for each of the services. Facebook's own site would not load for about an hour on Monday. Instagram and WhatsApp were accessible, but could not load new content or send messages. The reason for the outage was not immediately clear. A spokesperson for the company did not immediately respond to a request. The outage came the morning after 60 Minutes aired a segment in which Facebook whistleblower Frances Huygen claim the company is aware of how its platforms are used to spread hate, violence, and misinformation, that Facebook has tried to hide the evidence. Facebook has pushed back on those claims. This world is such a joke. The fact that there's just a thing called hate speech, I can't even believe what a cupcake world we're living in. Oof, man. The interview followed weeks of reporting about the criticism of Facebook after the woman released thousands of pages of internal documents to regulators and the Wall Street Journal. Blah, blah, blah. Shares of Facebook have gone down. So one of the things you're seeing on social media, if you just watch and get the pulse of the people, other than them, of course, losing their minds because they can't access Facebook, is that people are suspicious. They're saying, well, that's kind of weird that they had that thing yesterday and now it's down, and there's some type of possible cyber attack, or did Facebook just shut it down to divert attention from their hate speech type of thing? Well, at the very least, people should realize that all of these types of things are fake and planned. That doesn't mean it's not actually happening. It just means whatever narrative you get out of it isn't what really happened. So whether they go the cyber, like I've said last time, they don't even need to tell anyone that it was a cyber attack, because they've got everyone so programmed now to point a finger at Russia and collude. Oh, they're doing this. That they automatically are doing it for Big Brother. So Big Brother doesn't even have to come out and say it's there. Everybody on Twitter and all these places are already pointing a finger. Like, another cyber attack from Russia, another cyber attack from Russia. When are we going to stop this, right? And Biden will come out. They all have come out in the last couple of months and talked about how we need to, our big threat is cybersecurity. And we need to make sure, all this stuff is happening from within. All of these countries are using this event that they created that's going on right now to destroy their own governments, to destroy their own economies, and rebuild. They're calling it the Great Reset. They've been calling it. It's pretty easy to see. So you might say, well, what does a cyber attack have to do with everything? Well, they cyber attack, they drain bank accounts, they get people to want to take something inside of their body so they don't have to worry about being cyber attacked and losing their email information or personal private information. And they don't realize that they're already going to be cyber attacked from within, because they're going to be hackable. Because when you have this type of technology in your body, you become hackable. And that's what you're seeing go on. But they need to continue to get people to want to take that type of technology. So they use things like this. They can destroy the economy this way, and they can convince people out there that they won't have to worry about money going missing. Because you'll hear stories, I've been saying this forever, that you'll hear stories from John and Jane Doe, people that don't exist. Oh, my bank account was drained, hundreds. You're not hearing a ton of that stuff now, because obviously we know what they're trying to push right now more than ever. But that story will start leaking again. They have 8,000 agendas working at once here. But, just say Jane and John Doe lost all their money because of the cyber attack. But now they don't have to worry because they got a chip. And because of that, everything is safe and stored within them. I mean, I guess they could lose the chip if somebody comes and hacks off their arm and takes it out. But what are the odds of that? They won't ever mention how. They only tell you at these TED Talks, and they only tell you with all this neuro, garbage that they're pushing with the, being able to read your brain and read your thoughts that Elon Musk and all them are talking about. Yeah, your brain won't be hackable. Of course it will be. So we're heading towards all that stuff. Cyber attacks are just going to continue to be something that pops up day in and day out. You're going to hear all about them. You're going to hear about stories that will affect you. Like I said earlier, when Amazon happened, I think the next day there was an Amazon hack. I said it would be things like that, because people will be like, what about my account? I have an account on Amazon. Was I hacked? Can I access it? Oh, what's going to happen with the Facebook thing? Is my data out there? Did they send out my data? Did Facebook give up my personal information and my pictures and all that stuff to the Russian spy? Whatever ridiculous narrative they want to push. But they continue to make people nervous. And in reality, people should never have trusted to put all this stuff on the internet, because all they were doing was giving it to the NSA and Big Brother. But they trust in the NSA, they trust in the CIA, and these are the people who have your worst interests at heart, not your best. And they already have all your data. And like I've said again, what do these people care? Because they go, I don't have my data. I'm not doing anything illegal. I don't care if they're taking pictures of me with drones. I don't care if they're taking a picture of me from my shower head while I'm in the shower. I don't care if I'm dropping a deuce and they're recording me from my mirror. Okay. Right? because they think everything's a joke, and they just continue to give their rights away, and all the other stuff I've been talking about with the Great Reset and the economy and equal pay, and these people are just going to be like, okay, it sounds like a great plan, let's just give everything up to our government because they've been so trustworthy forever and ever and ever, and all of their false events that they've created, like the one in September on the date of the 11th, haven't been so poorly done that I'm not suspicious of them. I've been looking for the boogeyman in the cave still. Whew. And people, I mean, they created a generation of prideful, arrogant people. Social media has helped create this, right? You go out somewhere, all you see are people taking selfies of themselves. They're oblivious to their surroundings. They have no self-awareness. And the pride that they've created makes these people not care about other things. Their most important thing is, what am I going to post today on social media? They stay up at night thinking about it. You might think that sounds crazy because you don't do that, but that's what these people do. Yeah, so this prideful world doesn't want to believe anything that's going on, and then they just go, yeah, I don't care about giving it up, my privacy rights up, or any of my rights up. Everything will be fine. These people are tinfoil hat wearers because Stephen Colbert told me so. Yeah? Just wait. Just wait. I want to remind everyone, check out the website at callfornetpricing.com. It's $2.99 a month. If you haven't checked it out, please consider doing so. I want to thank the Patreons because you keeps me here on YouTube, and thank you all again for your support. God bless you and your families.
Kraft mac and cheese. It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest.
Europe's forests are going up in flames, from the south of France to the far north of Scandinavia.